Dear Mr. Investor, welcome back to the Entrepreneur Show. Today, I have two powerhouses from Shoba joining me. One of the most prestigious developers in Dubai, known for their quality, design, and sustainability. If you're an investor looking for the next big move, this episode is truly your golden ticket. We're breaking down 3 Shoba's projects that will match every investor's needs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Samir and Rawan. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good.
Thank you for
Welcome to
inviting
the
us.
Entrepreneur Show.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Honestly, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I wanted to bring you guys on for a very long time. Thank you for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So let's break it down. Why Shoba? Why is Shoba the best investment opportunity in Dubai?
So why Shoba is an easy question, actually. Let's look into it as in terms of boxes. Let's tick the boxes. As a master developer, Shoba is one of the master developers in Dubai. In terms of quality, Shoba is one of the quality developers in Dubai. In terms of market share, one of the top 5 in market shares as well. Trusted developer. Transparent. Whatever we show on brochures, renders, examples, turn out to be exactly the same in real life after handover. So why not?
What about the track records?
In terms of track records, so whatever we handed over so far, we're talking about Shoba Heartland 1, for example, people already did appreciation between 27 to 52% from different kind of projects, from low rise to high rise. Some towers that handed over last year, the others were handed over 3-4 years back. So, and still, Heartland 1 as a community, it's not done yet. There's a couple projects that have to be handed over. The amenities, the major amenities in Shoba Heartland 1 are not done yet. So people are going to be expecting 10 to 15 more percent in terms of appreciation.
And
so
that's in a duration of how long?
So the thing is, in Shoba Heartland 1, it got handed over on several phases. We have projects that, as we mentioned, that handed over 3-4 years back. Some of them handed over last year. Some of them are going to be handed over this year and next year. So the handover of all the projects are going to be by mid-2026, as in terms of the apartments in Shoba Heartland 1.
Okay.
But in terms of the amenities, because one of the major amenities, it's not in Shoba's hand when would it be done. For example, the water canal between Shoba and the developer next by. So that's going to get a really good appreciation to people living in Heartland 1. So I would say in 2027, people would be capping their appreciation when it goes back to the price per square feet on what they bought on launch.
Since the first phase, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and how long did it take for the entire master plan of Shoba Heart 1 to be delivered?
So we have to keep in mind that Shoba Heartland 1 was the first project for Shoba. So before Shoba Heartland 1 launch, Shoba was a contractor. We weren't a developer. So I do say, yes, there's a lot of mistakes in Shoba Heartland 1, which they fix them in new communities and in new projects. And that's how they're doing better and better projects in terms of architecture work, amenities, handover dates, and even when it comes to retail areas, for example. So they're changing everything in their concept of handing over all their communities for investors to make their appreciation in a faster span of time. For Heartland 1, I would say it's 5-7 years.
5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And now they're opening Heartland 2, or they launched Heartland 2, correct?
100%. And
when is that supposed to deliver as a master plan?
so as a master plan, it's starting because it's divided. That's what he was talking about also, Samir, that he's mentioning that we have changed the way that we are handing over. And basically in Heartland 2, it's going to be one after another, starting, for example, with the villas, after that, some residentials. And by the end, it's going to be fully handed over in 2029. And that's not a far period as well. It's going to be, and it's an upgrade. And the good thing about Heartland 2, if we're speaking about it right now, and that it's basically an upgrade of Heartland 1. Whatever that we haven't done and we haven't made on time, or it wasn't even our project or our plan, in our plans, it's going to be all in Heartland 2.
Okay, now I have a question. In Heartland 1, whenever you're driving from the backside, you can see a lot of projects for another developer. How come there's another developer inside the master plan of Heartland 1?
Actually, it's not inside. Heartland
Okay.
1, it's basically separated by a lagoon, dividing it away from the other developments around, and it has its own private gated. It's going to be fully private gated once we hand over all the projects inside Heartland 1, but it's totally separated. You cannot even easily walk through to get inside unless you pass through a gate.
Okay, so it's going to be gated entrance. Nobody can enter unless they live inside.
100%, yes.
Okay. And so basically, we will cut the name later, Azizi's buildings. Those are like...
No,
they're
no,
not.
no,
No.
they're not.
Guys, every time I'm
بس
leaving
you have
this...
to mention something. يعني في عندك other developers بيلعبوا شوبا هارتلاند 1.
That's true.
I
But
know.
أنا كرمال هيك أنا.
But that's why I'm asking those questions. I have a lot of hidden
That's
ones that
true.
are going to come out.
So Azizi, no, Azizi is out of Heartland 1. That's
Okay.
the water canal that's going to divide Shoba
Okay.
Heartland 1 from Azizi Riviera.
Okay.
But as in terms of Shoba Heartland 1, we had other developers, still great developers, such as Ellington, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
All right. Again, that goes back to the Shoba Heartland 1 was the first community as a launch as a developer for Shoba. So yes, they were selling plots, for example, for Ellington, which is a great developer. But in Shoba Heartland 2, they're not. It's going to be exclusive,
Yeah.
only Shoba.
And that's applicable to all their other master plans.
Yes, 100%.
And we-
Elwood, for example.
100%.
exclusively
All
for
Shoba communities and Shoba projects are going to be exclusive Shoba, and that's it.
So now there is a myth in the market that everybody talks about that last year when there was the storm that happened last April, all the other developers and all the other projects, villas, townhouses, apartments, they faced a lot of problems with the rain and the drainage, and a lot of houses were leaking, except for Shoba. And that actually made Shoba stand out in the market. So can you please tell us why did that happen and what was the impact on Shoba's reputation due to this?
I love this question so much because I was in there and I saw what happened exactly. And me waking up the second day after the rain, seeing that there is nothing in the community. We had the time that we go out, we walk outside. It's basically because, of course, Dubai did a great job to remove such rain because it was it was a massive natural disaster. But also Shoba had the strong impact in that time in which we noticed that quality really speaks loud, in which we took care of the maintenance, we took care of the cleaning, we took care also, and the infrastructure itself helps that nothing was let's say injured, or nothing happened to any car, to any building, to the parking, to the apartments, to the elevators, to the whole community itself. Funny enough, even the trees did not move from their place.
Yeah.
I noticed something super important while I was taking the videos the next day after the rain, that there was nothing absolutely damaged, as if nothing happened that day. And that's
Honestly,
because of the after sale.
I noticed this because every time I come with a client to Shoba and we go through the experience room and we basically go through they break down each and every single step in the building and the construction and what material they use for isolation, for sound, or for water, or even the flooring that's being used. And I've never seen any developer in the market that is that transparent to open up and share everything that they have about the back house and how everything is done behind. Why do you think why is that happening this way?
We go back to the first question. That's why Shoba?
Yes.
All right. I just want to add one more thing regarding that storm. Yes, you were saying it's a myth. A lot of people think it's a myth.
Yeah.
Because most of the developers in the market, they are commercial developers. All right. So they care for how their catalog look like, how the renders look like, how the architecture work of the building look like. But they don't care about soundproofing, about waterproofing, about sewer system, about drainage system. All that they don't care about. All what they care for is to sell. We're not here in the market just to sell. We're here to sell the client, and for that client to make money out of his investment or out of the property that he bought and come again and buy again. That's our point. And to add one more thing, as Rawan was mentioning about the maintenance and taking care of our projects, we have our own maintenance team on each project. They are on site 24/7.
Wow.
All right, because we have our own management company, and that's what makes us better and better in terms of after sale, in terms of customer service, in terms of taking care of our investor and of our properties itself.
There's no other developer that does that. This is the first time I find out about this.
So it's a one-stop shop.
Okay.
We are the contractor, we're the developer, we have our own architecture team, engineering, from everything from A to Z before handover, and even after handover. You want us to manage your property? We can manage it, we can rent it out short term, and guess what? We opened our own furniture company now as well.
Wow.
So you don't have to do anything.
So if an investor is interested in purchasing a property with Shoba, they don't need to worry about the furniture. You would furnish it. They don't need to worry about renting it. You will rent it for them.
100%.
You'll handle the maintenance.
Man, we're in Dubai. Everything is super easy. 3 a.m. you go on the mobile app, you can order food at 3 a.m.,
Exactly.
4 a.m. We're doing the same thing to the property.
Wow.
From overseas, someone in Australia, Europe, America, whatever he is.
So how much of a capital appreciation would an investor expect over the course of, let's say, from purchase till handover, and then from purchase 3 to 4 years after handover?
So it's not like it's not like an equation or a formula. It's different from one project to another, and it's different from one floor to another, from one property to another as well. You can't compare in same project a unit that's on a high floor, full unobstructed view with overlooking touristic attraction versus the same tower, a one bedroom on the lowest floor. Size is really small, back view or side view, let's say. You can't compare the same appreciation of it. Yet, yes, both are going to be rented. Both are going to be doing appreciation. And that's what happened with whatever we handed over already as well. But that's why
Not the same percentage.
Exactly. That's why the percentage varied from 20% up to 50%.
Okay.
That's the thing.
So what you're saying is that real estate investment in Dubai, especially with Shoba, you will never lose.
100%.
There is zero loss, zero
Listen,
risk.
you always go back to an example, right? Your own example.
Yeah.
From our own example, no one lose. Yet, yes, you'll have these kind of clients who really took a step out of their what they can. They're selling on handover as a OP, but
That's
still
like a distressed deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You always get that, and any developer in any area would get it. You
100%.
get that. But if you wait a little bit after handover, you're not gonna have OPs anymore or distressed deals. That's where you see people are doing money. Yes.
Okay. That's good to know.
And regarding the percentage as in terms of appreciation, there's one thing that always investors think that's a right thing, and it's not. Buying a cheap property in this tower, that doesn't mean you got the great unit, or yes, wow, now I got the cheapest unit. No, it's cheap for a reason. In the same tower, to get one bedroom for 1.5 million or to get it for 1.8 million, there's a reason why that is 1.8 and why that is 1.5. So you can't compare. You can't even expect the same appreciation or even return in terms of rent from both. Yes, they might vary and not in a big percentage, but still you're gonna have that difference.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Investor, if you're listening to this, it's not about the lowest cost of a property in a project. It's about the location, which floor the property is on, the layout, and the number of bedrooms that can guarantee you a higher capital appreciation and, of course, a higher rental income. The key takeaway for investors at this point, basically what Shoba offers, is high quality, great capital appreciation, and great rental returns, subject to you working with the right agent who directs you towards the right property in the right project that has the demand. Now, let's start analyzing the 3 top projects from Shoba that we're here to analyze today. And of course, with the experts themselves, we're gonna go through all the points to make sure that we're directing you in the right way. So to start off, we're gonna start with the element. Can you please tell us what is the element?
This project is really special for Shoba because it came after several already projects that have been sold out, such as the S Tower, Verde in JLT. It's different than all the projects that we're having in the area because it really adds a lot of value to the project. Every good thing, let's say, in Shoba in one project, from interior to exterior to views, the unobstructed views that we're having also in the elements to the community itself, because element is in Shoba 1. And Shoba 1 on its own stands out in the whole Dubai because of the
That's true.
architecture, because of the facilities, the golf course that we're having in there as well. 9 acres of 18 holes golf course, that's huge. And it's one of a kind already in Dubai. With having full panoramic views, overviewing Burj Khalifa, overviewing as well the creek area and the wildlife sanctuary. It's just so special as well.
And from an investment's perspective, how does that project stand out?
All right. One question you always get from an investor: how many units is there in that tower? There's something special about element which we don't have in any of our projects or any of our towers. number of units is so limited. It's so exclusive when we talk about this tower. So the tower basically is divided into two parts.
Okay.
The first part, which is the lower half, comes 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. Only 9 units per floor in total.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the upper half of the tower, it comes on 3 and 4 bedrooms. Only 5 units per floor. So imagine the tower having 8 elevators and only 5 units per floor. Plus, something really special about it, which if you compare it to a lot of projects in the market and to some of our projects as well, I personally and most of the people usually like clean layouts, squared or rectangular layouts, which is that's what's in Element. All layouts are clean layouts, non-obstructed view, really nice. Plus, it's a signature tower. All developers, once they're going to launch a project or launch a tower, 60 to 70% of it would be small typologies.
100%. 100%.
Right. Not studios. We don't do studios.
Yeah.
Just to make it clear. So, would be 1 bedrooms. But if you really look into the tower itself, so the lower half comes 9 units, as we said. Only 3 units comes in 1 bedroom, and 6 units in 2 bedrooms. So if you really look into the 1 bedrooms, they are the lowest number of units inside the tower, definitely after the 4 bedrooms. 2 and 3 bedrooms are way more in that tower, double.
Wow.
Exactly. That kind of explain to you the quality of that tower, the quality of people that are going to be living in that tower, the quality of the investors are going to be in that tower. Plus, something really important, I don't know if a lot of people realize that or not. You always have that kind of investor that would come and tell you, I want something at the 2 million bracket to benefit out of the golden visa, right? The 1 bedrooms in this tower, they don't exceed they don't even reach the 2 million. That's 1.97.
Ouch.
And that's
so
on
they're
purpose.
kind of forced to go for the 2-bed.
That's on purpose. And the 2-bed starts at 3.1 because they don't need that kind of people who's just looking for the golden visa to be in that tower.
Okay.
This tower is made for a specific people,
Gotcha.
for a specific investor, for a specific end use clients.
So it's made for end users.
I would say this part, for short-term rental, I don't think it's a good option.
Okay.
For long-term rent, is a great
Yes.
option. For personal use, is the best option, I would say, as for now in that price range.
100%. Now, one question I would like to know, and definitely all the investors watching this would like to know, why would a 3-bedroom appreciate more than a 2-bedroom?
So there's one thing in the market. If you're going to be looking into capital appreciation, go for a bigger layouts, such as a villa, 4-bedroom, 3 bedrooms. If you're looking mostly into rental yield, go for 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. Studio is out of the equation. We don't do studios. We don't do townhouses. Again, a studio is a cheap version of a 1 bedroom, and a townhouse is a cheap version of a villa. We're not cheap.
100%.
We're a luxury quality developer. That's why we don't do them. 3-bedroom would give you a better appreciation, yes, because of we have to go back to supply and demand.
It's more limited.
Exactly. And for example, if we're talking about Element, let's say,
Yeah.
all right, yes, it does have 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms. But if you ask me personally what I think would be the best unit or the most unit they're going to be doing in appreciation.
2 bedrooms?
4 bedrooms.
4?
Yeah.
How much is a 4-bedroom selling for?
6.4 million.
6.4 million. That's roughly around
Almost 1.6 million dollars.
$1.6 million.
Okay. But the reason is, first, why? Why is it going to appreciate the more? I personally think, so a lot of people think no, but I personally think
Why?
so.
Is it because on the long term, there's going to be more families?
That's one. Second, let's compare around or see the supply around in the area. All right. For example, in Heartland 1, you don't have much. You have a couple units in 1 Park Avenue.
Yeah.
In Heartland 2, you have a couple units in 1 tower out of 12, 13 towers, and only 1 part of a tower. So we're talking about 15, 20 units only, which are at 7.5 million.
Yeah.
All right. If we're going to go a little bit out of Shoba, what do we have? The Creek.
Creek Harbor, yeah.
Do you have Creek?
No,
Creek
doesn't exist.
Exactly. Creek doesn't have 4 bedrooms.
It's 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Exactly. So if we're looking at the radius of 2-3 kilometers, you don't have 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
A lot of people want to live in that area, and usually they ask for a villa, but still they can't afford the villa in that area because the villas in that area are 20 million plus.
100%.
Right? And they're big family. What they're going to do? They're going to look into a signature big layout 4-bedroom apartment. That's going to be their only option.
And they're going to have, what, half a floor? Is it like almost
It's not half a floor. I mean,
What's the size of a 4-bedroom?
The size of the 4-bedroom, we're talking about 2,445 square feet. It's a big unit.
That's a big one, 100%. What about the views?
Of the 4 bedrooms?
Do the 4 bedrooms have better views than the 2 and the 1?
So listen, definitely better than the 1-bedroom.
Okay.
But some 2-bedrooms has almost the same view of the 4-bedroom, all right? Because they are on the lower half.
Okay.
All right? But definitely the 4-bedroom has a better view than the 3 bedrooms. The thing is, the 4-bedroom is coming at the front of the tower, which is having the full view over the golf course, the downtown skyline, Burj Khalifa, Ras Al Khor Wildlife Sanctuary, the Creek Harbor, the Creek Tower when it's done. And as well, since the 4 bedrooms are on a higher floor, you'd be able to see the old Dubai, you'd be able to see the frame. Nothing can obstruct your view. Again, in front of you, there's the Ras Al Khor Wildlife Sanctuary.
100%.
That's the thing.
Okay. Now, Rawan, can you please tell us, how does the element stand out from Heartland 2?
Again, we go back to the beginning of actually that it is a signature tower.
Okay.
First of all, it's a tower, okay? It's not like Heartland 2. In Heartland 2, it's a bit different story because of the type of buildings and the layouts and the views, as well as the community itself. Meanwhile, Element is taking another sector, let's say. We're speaking about the amenities, world-class amenities of Infinity Pool that has a 260 degrees view for downtown, wildlife sanctuary, and the creek, including full city view because it's on the floor 69. We're speaking about a tower that, again, we're saying it has a low supply and low units, let's say number of units in the building. So it's not fair to compare them together, totally different stories.
Okay, so realistically speaking, when was the element launched?
It was launched exactly 1 month ago.
Exactly 1 month ago.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, from today, exactly 1 month.
Is there still availability?
Minor.
Leftovers or good units?
No, still good units. Listen, we have to know something. That big units or units over the bracket of 4 million, they don't get really sold as quick as 1-bedrooms, which are at less than a 2 million unit.
100%.
We still have good units. I mean, there's 2 lines, which I would say it's the best 2-bedroom. Got sold out on day of launch.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, a group of investors took the whole thing. That's the
So
thing.
we still have availability. If you guys are interested in this project, after everything you've seen, please let me know, and I'll definitely send you all the information. Okay, now for the second project that we're going to dissect, and it's honestly one of my favorites, just because I believe it's in the new heart of Dubai, meaning it's in very close proximity from Expo City and Dubai South, which is supposed to be the next downtown over the next 5 to 10 years. And it's also in 15 to 20 minute proximity from Palm Jumeirah, as well as it's in 20 minutes to 25 minutes proximity from downtown. So technically it's in the new heart of Dubai. So to start with, what I want to ask you guys is, what are your thoughts about the downtown being relocated?
So there's a lot of talks about in the market about new downtown, which is going to be the Creek. Some are saying it's going to be southwise. Regardless, downtown is always going to be downtown. All right. Yeah, you're going to be having new touristic areas or touristic attraction areas in terms of the Creek side or the Al Maktoum Airport when it comes up, or Dubai South and Jebel Ali, Palm, and all that. Yes, they're great locations, great areas for people to invest. But why don't we take somewhere just in the middle?
Exactly.
And that's where we have our project Solace.
So what is Solace? Please give us an explanation of what is Solace as a project.
So before talking about Solace itself, Solace, you have to understand something about Solace, the location of Solace itself. So Solace is located in Motor City. Motor City, actually, the selling point of Solace is Motor City.
Yeah.
Motor City is exactly 25 minutes away from both airports. Al Maktoum Airport, where people are all running towards now, and 25 minutes from the existing airport as well. Plus, it's an easy access community from both highways or both major roads, which is Hamad bin Zayed Road, the 311, and Sukaim. Hamad bin Zayed connects all the Emirates together,
yeah.
make you reach up to Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
And So that's the thing. In terms of accessibility, in terms of public and private transportation, is going to be really good.
The metro station's open
Exactly.
there as well, right?
Plus, Motor City itself is a mature community. It's full of restaurants, fine dines, coffee shops, schools, colleges, clinics. You even have BMW showroom there and Land Rover showroom
You
there.
have hospitals as well. You have
The
clinics,
Emirates
schools,
Hospital, you
everything.
have the King's School. Yeah, it's a well-developed community. I mean, you have 3 Starbucks in Motor City.
Yeah.
JVC with all that launches in it and all these buildings in it, they don't even have one Starbucks, other than the one in the Circle Mall. But still,
True.
so it is a really, it's an area that really attracts investors. And if you really look into the people who are living in Motor City, most of them are Europeans, British, Russian, American, white people. And these people are the people who are moving now to Dubai.
Yes.
We are now 3.4, 3.5 million.
Yeah.
We're expecting to be 6.1 in a couple of years.
Exactly.
Most of these people are going to be coming from these countries. So that's one of the areas which is going to really boom. Even though it is a booming area, but it's going to really boom in a couple of years. In 2-3 years, it's going to boom again.
100%.
That's why Shoba launched a project in Motor City. And by the way, it's not the only project in Motor City. We have 2 projects in Motor City because we believe in Motor City that much.
100%.
That's the thing.
No, it makes perfect sense, honestly.
And by the way, for an investor, once he know what's Motor City, picking which project and picking which units, that's the easiest thing you
doesn't
do.
matter. The location sells on its own.
Exactly. Picking the unit, that's only when he's ready to pay. Because, I mean, the unit might change, the unit might get sold.
Exactly.
As long as he's convinced, he knows the location, what he's going to expect later on, that's all what matters.
Okay, so I understand that Solace is going to be the latest and probably the last project to be delivered in Motor City. So it's going to be one of the most recent projects to be handed over and is going to be the newest. However, my concern is when we're talking floor plans and sizes, they are a little bit smaller than the average sizes that are within that area. Because people that go to Motor City, they go there for space. They understand they're moving a little bit away from the downtown area, but at least they're getting bigger apartments of 900, 1,000 square foot.
100%. Listen, we have to know something and we have to be realistic in it. Dubai market or Dubai construction, you have to compare it with New York, Tokyo, Paris, which London, all new construction and all these areas are small in terms of sizes. Yes, a lot of people in Motor City are in Motor City due to the sizes, but guess what? Landlords are crying out of the big size. They're paying a lot in service charge.
That's true.
Plus, once we're talking about Motor City itself, Motor City, most of the towers or the buildings in Motor City are old buildings.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
10 years,
That's why
15 years
that's
old,
why
yeah.
it's a developed community. And last 2 plots, that's where Shoba is building both projects, Orbis and Solis.
Yeah.
All right. And all the new market, all the new construction, all the new areas are coming up, regardless who's the developer. Sizes are being small. All right. Yes, some projects they do small and big sizes. Yes, but most of them are small. That's the thing. Plus, most of the people here work almost 24 hours, 24/7.
Exactly.
They go home, shower, and
true.
sleep.
Yeah.
All right. So
So-
that's the thing. They're not really, or what they care for now is the quality of the building. Again, we're in Dubai.
And the
People look
brands.
into luxury,
Yeah.
fancy, looking good amenities, good quality. Again, they don't want it when it's rain to have water leaking from their windows, right? So that's what they look into. So that's why, yes, people are willing to pay a little bit more extra money or same exact of whatever they're paying now for a smaller size, but at least they got a world-class amenities, they got good quality, good maintenance, good architecture, a name brand developer. That's what people are looking
And
into.
they pay less service charge.
100%.
Which is a huge thing,
If we're
yeah.
talking about a landlord,
Yeah.
or like if someone buy it, yeah. But if for a landlord as well, if someone is just renting out, he definitely looks for the cheapest in terms of service charge.
Exactly.
So
So,
that's
what would you say the unique selling points of Solace as a project?
One of the most important things about Solace is the size of the land in regards also to the amenities in it, which is something that is super important. You're not, again, having any over capacity, let's say, of units in the same project. You're having a huge plot area for only the amenities and facilities, and that shows that the concentration is not only about selling and having a lot of units and a lot of people living in there, a lot of buyers, but also having the quality of living in the community itself. We're speaking about a whole area of 11 acres, out of which 4 acres is for the amenities and facilities. That's huge.
Exactly.
You rarely find that in Dubai. Always the concentration is having a lot of units in the same project. And also having few towers in there. We're speaking only about 4 towers. And the 4 towers are the highest, the high rise in Modern City, because in Modern City, you don't have any high rises.
Yes, that's
Shoba
true.
has entered, made high rises, and we're the only high rises right now in there in Modern City. The views also of the project, some details, including the sunken pool, for instance, the clubhouse, the shopping center that we're having in there, the courts that are above the podium level as well. All of these are attractions for the project itself. If we're talking about the project in specific only as a selling points, not in regards of the location as well.
I just want to add one more thing.
Please.
Since Rawan is talking about the amenities, that project, the amenities are going to be branded by Arsenal Football Club. So Shoba is the official sponsor of Arsenal Football Club, and that's what that's one of the things what's special about that project. That the amenities are going to be branded by Arsenal. Listen, it's a themed project, sport project. That's why you have all kind of sports courts. You have an Olympic swimming pool inside the project.
Wow.
Right. Plus, the location of it is coming inside the Autodrome, which is the racetrack of Dubai, all right, where you have races being hosted on that. So it's the first themed project by Shoba, which is kind of more into sports, Arsenal races.
Is it co-branded actually?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
All right. And again, if we go back to the people who are moving into Dubai, most of the people are in the age range of 20 up to 40, 45.
True.
Right? And they are into sports, cars,
100%.
races, all the
100%.
soccer. So that's the thing. A lot of people take it as into the sports and race as an objection. It's not an objection. Take it as a selling point.
100%.
That's the thing.
And I have a personal friend who I was speaking to almost a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me, I'm looking in the market, I'm looking for apartments. And the minute I told him about the Solis project and the fact that it's right in front of the racetrack, and he loves cars, he has a BMW M2, immediately he was like, that project's for me, I would love to, let me check it out, let me see how it works for me.
100%.
100%, so there's a lot of pulling attractors, there's a lot of magnets that would attract investors there, or property owners there.
100%.
No, I think it's a great project. Okay, so if we're going to summarize why Solace is a great project, aside from its location, from its proximity to almost everywhere in the city, to the number of amenities that it has, one of the concerns that I have is the number of units. How many units do we have in all 4 towers?
And
Is it close to 1,000?
we're speaking about almost 2,000 units in 7 acres built up area. You're having the rest is all amenities and facilities. That's actually a selling point for the project itself.
So does each tower have its own parking space, own entrance, own elevator, own facilities, or do they all share these facilities together?
100%. Of course, there is above the podium level, there are amenities that are shared by everyone, but every building has its own entry, it has its own lobby, it has its own elevators, so they're not sharing it together. So there is not gonna be any crowdness, as well as the podium level is, we're speaking about 4 floors that are for the parking only. So it's a huge area as well.
Yeah, definitely. So one more question, if I may ask. Now, regarding this project, I'm an investor. I'm looking to invest in that project. I know that the 1-bedroom starting price is around $1,050,000. So that's roughly around $300,000. What's the payment plan?
So the payment plan of that project is 60-40. So we're having 60% through construction and 40% on handover. It will be divided at 20% down payment and 4 payments of 10% throughout construction, and the rest of the 40 with the on the completion date.
Okay, and is there a possibility of bank finance or bank mortgage on handover?
Definitely, it's not through Shoba though. So banks here do mortgage properties on handover once the property is ready. So there's 2 things if you are a resident or a non-resident. All right, there's kind of rules for you to qualify or not to qualify. The first thing is the property has to be ready. And as a non-resident, you have to be 50% of the property has to be paid, which you already paid it because
Exactly,
you
you
paid 60%.
reached 60, yeah.
And for a resident, it's 20%, which already you paid because you paid 60. Yes, they do finance, and by the way, by the end of the day, it's in their favor to finance that to you, and to make it clear as well, it's in their favor as well for you to default on paying.
100%. It's a win-win situation for them if they take it, yeah.
They're paying, they're giving you a loan for the 40% of the 1 million, let's say, which is 400K, all right? But you're leaning a property which is worth at that stage of time 1.3, 1.2,
yeah,
all right?
yeah.
So it's in their favor
It's a
for you to
win-win
default on
situation
paying
for them, yeah.
and for them to take the unit and sell it in foreclosure.
So it wouldn't be a big problem.
No. Listen, most of the people are, you think all these people are just buying everything out of pocket?
No, of
Most
course
of them,
not.
they're paying everything. So yeah, they're paying the throughout construction payment out of pocket, yes,
Yeah.
which is on an easy payment plan with interest free. That's something really important. But most of the handover payments are being financed from the bank.
So from an investor's perspective, if I end up purchasing one of those properties and I get a bank mortgage on the handover, and then Shoba is going to rent out those properties for me and give me a guaranteed return every single year, let's say for 10 years. So this means that I've only invested 60% of the property value, and then
Exactly.
the property is paying for itself,
For
as well as
40%.
I'm making a passive income on top.
100%.
Why isn't this sold out yet?
Listen, the thing is, why it's not sold out yet, it's not, I mean, all the projects are the same, all right? But the thing is because you have a lot of supply in the market. And you have, even in Shoba, you have a lot of supply. For example, let's talk about the 1 million range. We have in Shoba Orbis, we have in Shoba Solis, we have another project which is out of Dubai. It's a resort island. We're having a new project coming up as well that's going to have a 1-bedroom at 1 million. So there's a lot of options in the market, and in Shoba as well. If you're going to go down the funnel, in Shoba itself, there's a lot of options at 1 million. That's why, if it was the only option as a 1 million, I would definitely tell you don't even talk about that project because they're already sold out.
Yeah,
But that's the thing.
100%. Okay, so dear Mr. Investor, this is your golden opportunity. A property that's going to cost you less than $160,000 and is going to create you passive income within a minimum of 3 years. Okay, now for the last project, let's dive deep into Elwood. Please, Samir, tell us what is Elwood, what do we expect, and what's going to hit the market soon?
Sure. So Elwood is the latest villa community that Shoba released or launched after Shoba Reserve, which got already sold out. All right. It's a 10 million square feet community, only villas. Again, we don't do townhouses.
Yeah.
It's only 4, 5, and 6 bedroom independent villa, standalone, no back to back. It's just a single house.
What's the
separately.
starting price?
At the phase 1 started at 7.9. Phase 2
Okay.
is starting at 8.1. So
Okay.
people have to know as well, and especially for investors, that when we tell them the prices are going to go higher, it's not a selling game. All right, yes, we're sales, but sometimes it is. That's how it is. The market, there's a lot of demand in the market, and that's why from one phase to another we increase the prices. All right. As for now, for example, we released only the first cluster in Shoba Elwood. It's already sold out.
And it's sold out.
Yes.
Wow.
Second cluster is going to be in a couple weeks. We already started collecting EOIs. We're
So,
already,
so expression of interest is open right now for phase 2?
For phase 2, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's starting at 8.2?
8.1. 8.1, 8.2, in that range. It
Okay.
depends on...
So that's roughly around $2.2 million.
2.2, yeah.
And that's 4 bedroom?
4
Standalone.
bedrooms, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, 4 bedrooms. 5 bedrooms, first cluster was at 9.2.
How many units are being released?
Before being released, let me talk about the whole community.
Okay.
The whole community is only 472 villas.
Wow.
Again,
Wow, that's exclusive.
no mansions and no townhouses. That's a really big add-on to the community.
Only 4 and 5 bedrooms. That's
4, 5, and 6.
it. Okay.
All the people inside that community are going to be the same caliber, same financial class, same social class. For end use, that's something really important.
100%.
I'm kind of person, I don't want to really share amenity with someone that bought a townhouse 5, 6 years back at 1.9 million. And at the
100%.
same time, I don't want to share amenity with someone who bought a mansion at 50, 60 million.
Of course.
That's the thing.
And what's inside the community? Like, are there
So
schools, malls,
the community,
F&B
as we
outlets?
said, it's a villa community. It's full of amenities. 47% of it is green areas, by the way.
Wow.
It's huge.
Wow.
All these green areas are coming as in forests, 7 forests from 7 different continents, 10,000 trees. Plus the community itself, it's a cul-de-sac street concept. Cul-de-sac street, which is the dead-end street that makes you walk throughout the whole community without even stepping on curbs or on street. So you're walking through forests from one continent to another.
Yeah.
That's the concept of it. In terms of amenities, it's full of sports amenities distributed all over the amenity for kids and adult amenities as well. In addition to the clubhouse, the major clubhouse that you have in the center, with the water lagoon it has, the running and cycling track around the whole community. You're talking about a community which has 35 to 40 plus world-class amenities. That's
And
the thing.
phase 2 of the villas launching at $2.2 million is basically in a couple of weeks.
Yes, and I'm sure it's going to be sold out faster than phase 1 as well, because we've been low on availability and a lot of people are putting already expression of interest.
So we said phase 1 had 400 units.
No, the whole community is 472.
The whole
That's the
community,
thing.
including phase 2 that's coming.
Phase 2 and phase 3.
Oh,
the
wow.
whole community, it's so exclusive.
Wow.
472 villas in total.
Okay.
We released 120, 130 units, which
And
that
that's
is
gonna
out
be
of the
basically
market.
in multiple phases.
Yeah.
Okay. Rawan, you told me there's another secret and another release about this project.
So
What else is
including-
coming?
In the same project as well, next to the villas, we're going to have also low-rise apartments in
Oh,
the
wow.
same area. Yes, having
How
their
many?
own amenities and facilities. Still, it's not unknown exactly how many buildings are going to be in
Okay.
there, but we're going to have low-rise buildings in there, including as well the right next to the shopping center and the school, also in the community, having their own amenities as well, not included to the villas.
Okay. And when is the release of that?
That's still unknown.
Not
Also, it's
announced
going
yet.
to be very soon.
Okay.
It's going to be very soon. Also, we're starting to talk about it. People are interested in that. We can see them also in the videos as well, how they look like. It's going to have a beautiful architecture inside the community.
And what's the starting price for the 1 bedrooms?
So, in regards to the projects that we're having all around Dubai, out of experience, we can say that it's going to be approximately 1 million.
Okay.
That's gonna be-
that's very affordable.
Yeah.
What
exactly.
about what about transportation?
But I think it's going to be big in size, by the way.
bigger than the standard
Bigger
5 to
than
600 that we're
Yes.
used to? Okay.
Because the area itself,
Okay. So the price per square foot is lower over there, right?
definitely.
Okay.
So let me tell you something about the location itself. Some people think Elwood is far, or it's not in a prime area. All right, but if you really look into the location and into the map and the infrastructure that have been upgraded in that area, you would really know what's coming in that area. So first, Shoba Elwood is 19 minutes away from downtown.
19.
19 exactly on GPS. If you
Wow.
put it, it would tell you 19 to 21 minutes.
Okay.
It's on Dubai Al Ain Road.
Yeah.
One of the roads that we have that doesn't have any like a light signal, no stop signs,
Exactly.
nothing.
Exactly. It's a highway.
Plus,
Yeah.
if you look at Dubai Al Ain Highway, used to be two lanes.
Yeah.
Now it's 5 lanes.
Each side.
Yes, for
Wow.
a reason. For a
Yeah,
reason.
it's because of this project, of course.
Not only for that project, for all the projects that are coming in that area, and for that area itself, it's going to be really in demand in future.
It's true.
Because if you look into a radius of 3-4 kilometers, have you ever thought of what are the developers in that area?
There's Arabian Hills.
So
I
you have
think-
4 out of 5 master developers. You have
And
Amar,
there's Emar, yeah.
you have Miras,
Yeah.
you have Shoba, you have Damak, which is a little bit further. I respect all investors. I respect all the agents in the market, but I'm pretty sure these developers are way smarter than us and than the investors.
100%. 100%.
That's the thing. And I guess as well, the government is smart enough to expand that highway.
Of course.
The thing is, we have to understand that Dubai is expanding. We can't, can't all investors say, I want to be around the downtown Business Bay, Creek, Maidan, all these
100%,
areas.
100%.
We're here, we reached a point where we are really bottlenecked. So all these people have, that's why there's the expansion toward the south, toward the north, toward inland. That's the thing. A lot of projects we used to say about 2-3 years back that they're all the way inland and they're far. Now they're prime areas.
100%.
So that's the thing. So whoever really takes advantage of being in one of the investors in Elwood is really going to benefit out of big appreciation. And one more thing just to highlight on Elwood. All these communities that we mentioned around, are a mixture of townhouses and villa communities,
Yeah.
except for Shoba Elwood.
They're not
Exclusive
as
villas.
exclusive as that.
That's the thing.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So when is the full master plan going to be complete for Elwood?
June 2027.
Seriously? That's like in
2
a
years
couple of
down the road.
years.
Couple. It's not couple. It's 2 years exactly.
The entire project is
Yeah.
going to be done.
100%.
Wow, I can't wait. Okay. And there's still 2 more phases to be launched.
Yep.
So one phase is for the villas, a third phase for the villas, and there's one more phase for the apartments actually.
100%.
Okay, what about the community on the inside? Is it made for families or is it made?
100%.
So it's a family community.
100%. Once you have a school inside the community, you know, it's a
Gated
gated community.
Yeah.
It's a family-oriented community. Plus villas. I mean, villas mostly is for families.
100%.
You have a lot of kids amenities. All these are for families, and that's what gives you a good appreciation and a good demand on that area.
100%.
And since we mentioned the school as well, so if Shoba made the school in Shoba Elwood, the same school that they have in other communities such as Shoba Heartland 1, which was ranked one of the top 10 schools in 2023 and in 2024, that's going to get you a really high demand, because if you look into the radius of 3 to 4 kilometers of Shoba Elwood location, you don't have outstanding ranked schools.
Yeah.
The closest would be in Academic City or Maidan.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
these are all selling points
100%.
for not for me to sell.
No.
For the investors to
Yeah.
rent out or to sell for appreciation later on.
So you would say that Elwood would be great for capital appreciation or for rental income?
Capital appreciation.
Capital appreciation. What about for rental income? How much would we be looking at? 6 to 8?
Listen, in villas, yes, you can get 6 to 8%, but most investors on villas are looking for
They
capital
seek capital
appreciation.
appreciation, yeah.
If
That's
they're
true.
looking for return, as in rent income, why don't they take a couple units of the apartments then?
So there you go. You have it from the man himself. If you're looking for rental income, take multiple units from the apartments. And if you're looking for a high capital appreciation, go for one of the villas. Now, how can we distinguish which villa would be better? So if I'm an investor right now and I want to purchase a villa in, let's say, in Elwood, which one would give me a higher capital appreciation? A one that's facing the amenities, a one that's in a corner, a one that's at the entrance? How can we distinguish that?
Okay, so I would like to remark that in a different way.
Please.
Whenever you're having in the same community a huge number of, let's say, 4 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms or 6 bedrooms, that's going to make the difference between which one is going to make the highest appreciation. And we're speaking about a 472 villa, 20% and 10% is the 5 and 6 bedrooms only. So in your point of view, which one is going to have the highest capital appreciation in the community itself?
The one with the least supply.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
100%, as well as the location of it
Okay.
in the community. Also, something I would like to add up in the community of Shoba Elwood is the parks that we're having in there. So some people, when they're coming to actually pick a villa in there, they're picking in which continent they want to stay in, because you're going to have the atmosphere, the culture of this community in there with the trees, the smell, everything is going to be in there. So it
100%.
makes it also different. The whole community is very attractive in regards of that, as well as the number of units is going to differentiate in the appreciation.
For sure, certainly. Okay, well, this brings everything we need to know about Elwood. Now, before we end this episode, one quick question for each of you, and I need your most selfish, greedy, and honest opinion.
All right.
You have $5 million right now to invest in Shoba. How do you split it?
$5 million. Definitely a 4-bedroom apartment in Element.
Okay.
All right. 2 units of 1-bedroom plus study in Solace.
Okay.
All right. And
Can we know why first?
all right.
So Element, 4-bedroom. Why?
4-bedroom Element. Why? Because again, we go back to supply and demand. There's really less in the market, and especially in that area. And I believe it's gonna double in terms of price.
Okay.
Because that's what happened in Heartland 1.
Okay.
In Heartland 1, the 4 bedrooms were at 4.2 million. Now they're being sold at 9.5.
So this is based on real life
Exactly.
track record here.
Exactly.
Okay.
In One Park Avenue. You
Okay.
can Google it. All right.
So Element is doubling up. Take notes. All right.
1-bedroom plus study in Solace, because why 1-bedroom plus study? Because I don't want to run low on funds. That's
Okay.
one. Second, because the use of one bedroom plus study is
Can be two.
exactly. You can
Yeah.
use it sometimes as a two, as a guest room, maid room, study, whatever. It's have dual use for it.
And you would use that for rental?
Definitely, Motor City would be for rent.
Okay.
Solace would be for rent. Element
Okay.
would be for selling.
Okay.
All right. Now we're already on 6, 8. Oh, we still have a couple.
So you still have a budget.
There is.
I would get a 5-bedroom villa in Elwood.
Not a 6, a 5. Okay. But we
I
just
have my reasons.
we just identified that
but
a
I
6
have-
would appreciate more.
Yes, but I have my reasons.
Which is?
The location of the 5 bedrooms are better to start with. Second,
That's the answer I wanted to get earlier. All right.
that's the thing. Plus, I think, so if I'm going to rent out, and by the way, Elwood is to resell as well.
Yeah.
Because if I want to rent, I would go for the 4 bedrooms. And that's why we have 70% of it. Because renting a 4-bedroom is easier. 5-bedroom is a little bit big in terms of price. But I guess 5-bedroom is going to be doing good appreciation, because whoever is going to buy the 6-bedroom is buying it for personal use and not buying it to sell.
1,000,000%. Yeah,
That's the thing.
100%.
So 5-bedroom, someone would resell and would make money out of it. The 6-bedroom is mostly people buying it that they're going to move
They're gonna
into
use it,
to that property when it's ready.
Okay.
I guess we're already on 5
We're
million,
done.
no? Yeah.
What about you? What would you
Hi,
with
so
5
I,
million
the
do?
problem is I totally agree with
No,
what he
you
picked.
cannot choose what he
That's
just
the annoying
chose.
part.
You cannot choose what he's just chose.
Okay, the only change I would have in there is I'm going to have a 3-bedroom in Element, as well as also a 4-bedroom.
So you know what? I'm gonna give it. I'm
invest
gonna
for
give it. You know
No,
what?
don't
Take
give
his
me-
4-bedroom.
don't
No,
give
you
me-
know what? Pick a 2 units of 1-bedroom plus study and Solace. I'm gonna
Yeah,
pick
that,
something
because
else.
that's okay.
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 Shall I pick then first?
Pick it.
I would pick a 2-bedroom plus study in Solace because it's only 1 unit
yeah.
in only
Oh,
one
yeah.
tower, which is fully furnished, and 1 unit per floor.
Yeah.
No
2-bedroom
way.
plus study, and the study room has glass panels, which you can easily use it as a 3-bedroom, and it's 600,000 dirhams, less than the actual 3-bedroom in price.
No way.
Be my guest. Take the 2 units of 1-bedroom plus study.
Wow.
I totally agree in that, because it was really something that we did not expect even in the tower itself. So, okay. I took the home plus study and give me the leftover. Anyway, and of course, also in Elwood as well, I totally agree with the 5-bedroom. It was a mistake to let him answer first.
Exactly. Should have asked ladies first.
No, I wanted to ask you, like, you cannot say what he said. You should choose
The
completely
thing
different
is
projects.
that we know exactly how it's going in each project, and we know exactly which units are going to have the most highest appreciation, highest rental attraction, as well as the client who's going, or the tenant,
This
or the
is
buyer. from it.
exactly what I wanted to get out of you two. This sort of
I
information,
just want to add
that's
one more
where you
thing.
can invest.
Just one more
Please.
thing before we finish.
Please.
For investors to know that it's super easy to invest in Dubai, but it's super tricky to invest in Dubai, because whatever you're buying, you have to know what's the purpose of it. I didn't say just 5-bedroom just because I like 5 bedrooms, because I have a plan what I'm going to do with it.
Exactly.
The same thing for the 2-bedroom plus study in Solace, or the 1-bedroom plus study that she picked on Solace. We have a plan, or we have a reason, or the purpose of the investment. That's why I always tell clients, whenever I'm meeting clients or investors, I'm telling them, what's the purpose? What do you really want out of
What's
that
your
investment?
strategy before we even start?
Are you looking to sell? Are you looking to... And one single thing which is super, super, super important, we have to highlight and put lines under it. If you're taking it as an investment, don't think of yourself. Don't think, oh, but I wouldn't live in it. Definitely,
Think
you're
of
not
the
taking
person
it
who rents
exactly.
it, yeah.
You have to take into consideration that forget about yourself. Simply,
100%.
because by the end of the day, what you care for, it's not money. It's more money.
Exactly.
Right. So that's
Exactly.
why that's exactly what it is.
No, I totally agree. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. I would love to thank my guests. You guys have
Thank you.
given us
Thank you so
amazing
much.
insights.
Thank you for having
this
us
would
with you.
definitely help us. Thank you so much. I look forward to doing this again with the latest launch that will come later from Shoba.
Soon.
We'll be waiting
Very
for that.
soon.
Definitely. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.